Hey, good people, how y'all doing? So, we have finally made it to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 Reunion Part 3. Oh my goodness. It has been such a long season, guys. I am not going to give you a play by play from this reunion. I'm just simply going to tell you everything that I thought about each of these ladies. So let's get into it. Please, guys, I'm almost at 100 subscribers. I'd greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and definitely comment down below what you felt about this reunion, what you felt about this season. I want to hear it. I want to know what you guys think. I would love to have a dialogue with you in the comments. So let's get it. Okay, you guys, this situation with Kyle and Kathy is sad. I'm not even going to sit here in front. I feel for Kyle. I feel for Kathy. But Kyle playing this whole I'm the victim situation and I'm the only one who's going to get hurt. When she was saying that during the season, I was kind of looking at her a little bit crazy because I'm like, girl, this just doesn't affect you, but this also affects your sister and your daughters and her daughters and your family. Like, you are not the only person being affected by all of this. I don't know what it is with Kyle. She just comes across as very me, 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 me. And I don't think she really takes into account what everybody else feels. Just because she's very emotional about things does not mean that Kathy doesn't feel a certain type of way about how their relationship has gone in the past and where it is right now. So, Kyle, please don't play the victim role. Not to mention, you definitely played a hand in everything that's gone on with your sister this year. Number one, this was your opportunity this season to really redeem yourself from the ish that went down with Kim, okay? Because Kim was attacked by Lisa as well, and you did not defend her. So you should have been able to come out of this season defending your sister. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, it's not her place to defend Kathy and blah, 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 blah. That's her sister. And if she can sit there and go after Crystal the way that we saw her go after Crystal during the first and second episodes of the reunion, and we can see her sit there and go after Sutton during the season, then we certainly can sit here and watch her at least defend Kathy. I mean, is it asking too much? And to sit there and not know why Kathy might be a little bit upset with you is baffling to me. I just don't get Kyle. I really don't know how her mind works. It's clear that Kathy and that side of the family, they have each other's back. It's mentioned during the reunion that Paris was defending Kathy on social media. And when asked about that, Kathy was like, well, you know what? She's very protective of her mother, as she should be. I mean, family is family, and if you are on good terms with your family, I don't see any reason why you can't defend them. Let's talk about this Erika situation with Garcelle's son, Jax. If you guys remember, Erika, the nerve to try to dismiss Jax at his mother's birthday party is crazy to me. Like, really, girl? So she basically tells Jax to get the F out of here. She curses at him, and she was completely out of line. Erika apologizes for this. We've already seen that she also apologized during the season, and you can tell that she wants to move past it because she doesn't look good, okay? It's something that she wants to forget. Garcelle is not having it. Garcelle was trying to hold Erika's feet to the fire, and I feel like just because you give an apology, it doesn't take away from how you made somebody feel. And it doesn't mean that because you apologized, I should just move past it. I think we as people, that's how we see it. Once I apologize, let's move past it, whatever, whatever. But some people want a little bit more than an apology. For me, I would want to hear that this is never going to happen again. Garcelle is also upset with Dorit and Kyle's reaction to everything that happened with Jack. Garcelle says, you know what? If it happened to one of your children, talking to Kyle and Dorit, this would be a whole different situation. Garcelle is completely right. It definitely would be a whole completely different situation. These women would never allow Garcelle to hear the end of it. And that's the difference between how Garcelle gets treated in the group versus how everyone else gets treated. And it's not right. It shouldn't be that way. The fact that Kyle and Dorit, once again, this is now the second year in a row that the two of them with their husbands got together and laughed and made fun of somebody else's expense. Do you guys remember last year with the whole Erika Jayne situation and the husband in the car? And the car rolled over 3 times, and Tom went to the hospital, and Erika was more concerned about his ankle than what could potentially be going on in his brain. Like, he could have had a traumatic brain injury. And they sat there and they kikied and hee-heed about that, only for you to turn around and do the same thing to Garcelle the next year. Now, both of these situations are completely different, but the biggest similarity, the main similarity, is the fact that you're laughing at somebody else's expense. So Kyle trying to say that, she's deeply sorry, and, when she watched it, she felt really bad. It's one thing to watch something, it's another thing to hear it. That is all BS, Kyle. The only reason why you're apologetic is because you got backlash from the fans in regards to this. That's the only reason. I feel like if nobody would have said anything to Kyle about it and just glossed over the whole situation, there would never have been an apology given to Garcelle. And please, trying to use this whole, well, I'm a good mother and you know how I feel about my kids. Yes, we know how you feel about your children. And we also know that you will not stand up and defend somebody else's. And the same thing goes for Dorit. She sat right next to Erika. Yeah, she said, Erika, whatever she said during that episode, I don't even remember what Dorit said. But for me and for Garcelle, clearly, it wasn't enough. It's just not right. And I didn't even hear, y'all gonna have to help me out with this, I didn't even hear Dorit apologize during the reunion. Now, I'm sure she apologized before, but girl, you should be just as sorrowful as Kyle is coming across as being. I don't want to hear nothing about, I was taken aback and I was shocked and disgusted and felt sick like someone stabbed me in the stomach. If you were feeling all of that, and I'm talking to Dorit, if you were feeling all of that in the moment, I didn't see it on camera. I really didn't. Did I see that she was shocked? Yes, that's about it. In one of the many cases that Erika Jayne is involved in, she was actually cleared of having any knowledge of Tom scamming these people out of their money, or allegedly scamming these people out of money. That's great. I mean, if she didn't have any knowledge of any wrongdoing, then the case should be dismissed against her. That's just what it is. So Andy wants to know what everybody's opinion is, situation that she's in. So Erika uses the analogy of being on a plane, and if something happens when you're on the plane, you're told to grab your oxygen mask and basically take care of yourself before you can help anybody else. So Erika says that she's helping herself first, and then in the future, she'll be able to help someone else. I guess she's talking about these victims. I'm not buying it. I believe that what Erika showed us the first time is what she feels and what she believes. There have been several instances in this season alone where she has said she does not believe that there are victims, or she's questioning victims or saying alleged victims. For me, you're struggling with even acknowledging that your husband did this. That's number one, okay? Period. You have to acknowledge that, and you can't even bring yourself to do that. After Erika uses the plane analogy, Dorit says to her, what you just said was a lot better than what you said that night in Aspen. So Erika says, well, in the moment when you have been absolutely cornered for a very long time, I would have loved to have that clarity. Girl, I believe that when you were cornered, you said exactly what you felt and exactly what you believed. You saying that you want clarity? No, you had clarity. You had clarity the whole last season, and yet you decided this season to still come across as insensitive and basically in denial about the situation. So Andy, trying to be a little shady, says, you have? And Erika says, yes, I have. He doesn't seem like he's buying it. Erika goes on to say that she regrets her actions. So Andy turns to Kyle, and he basically wants to know why Kyle was upset during Erika's outburst in Aspen. And Kyle said she got upset because she thought Erika was going to say something else, basically make an acknowledgement that these victims were done wrong. Erika says that she wanted Kyle to be neutral, and she was speaking the truth, meaning Erika. So my thing is, girl, this whole speech that you just gave is a lie, because you just went back and said that what you said in Aspen was the truth. Such a hypocrite, both her and Lisa Rinna, and I'm gonna get into Rinna in a minute. So basically, Andy is like, you showing empathy is not landing. They talk about the earrings. Andy says, are you trying to get the earrings back? And Erika says 3 times they're on appeal for legal reasons. What are the legal reasons? Like, girl, why do you still want these earrings? Why are you appealing the fact that you no longer have these earrings and they took them from you? Like, let the earrings go. So Andy asked the rest of the ladies, would you guys keep the earrings? And not one hand was raised to say, yes, we would keep the earrings. Not even Lisa Rinna's. This is the part that we've all been waiting for. Miss Kathy Hilton makes her appearance. She comes out on the stage looking very confident. She sits down, gives Kyle a little hug and kiss, and she looks directly at Lisa Rinna and Erika and says, "Hi, girls." And when she did that, I knew that this was going to be some mess. I said, Kathy, you about to start some stuff. So Andy wants to know, why does Kathy send Rick DMs and not text messages? And Kyle says, she gets confused over which is which. I don't see how, but okay. And Kathy, throwing shade at Lisa Rinna, says, "I did what Lisa does and removed it months later." And I'm like, pa-pow, pa-pow, pa-pow. Shots fired already, girl. I mean, Kathy has not even been on this couch for 5 minutes, and here she goes. Funny. I'm like, the whole time she's on here, I'm like, she is about to stick it to Lisa Rinna. So they play Kathy's flashbacks over the season, and Kyle is sitting there looking like she is physically ill. She has to take a deep breath and kind of gather herself. I'm like, what is going on over there with Kyle? Girl, what's wrong with you? Not even one word has been spoken about the Aspen trip or anything, and you look like you're about to have a breakdown. Normally during the flashbacks, the ladies just sit there and watch. They might glance at one another during certain parts or whatever the situation is. But for the most part, they sit there and they don't say not a word. But Kathy, when they show the scene where Lisa says that Kathy said she will destroy Kyle and her family if that's the last thing that she does, decides she's going to interject and says to Lisa, "Do you want to swear on your life?" Basically, that this is what I said. I was like, oh my God, Kathy won't even allow the flashbacks to play before she has something to say. Like, she is really on a mission here. Lisa didn't say not one word. She just looked at Kathy. Andy wants to know why Kathy can't promote her tequila. Kathy says that she didn't know that they showed her tequila as much as they showed it on the show. And they do show a flashback of all the times that, Kathy has this tequila. But as a viewer, and you guys can tell me if you saw it differently, I didn't know that this was her tequila. I'm just thinking she's coming to these parties with some type of liquor. On some of the other Housewives shows, they come with their own drinks. They don't even rely on the people to have the drink that they want. They bring their own. So in my head, that's what I think I'm seeing. I didn't realize that this was her tequila. Kathy also talks about the Aspen situation where she's at Kyle's hat event. And she says that when she got there, she saw that the tequila was at the bar, at least 4 bottles. So in her mind, she was thinking, okay, Kyle has set up like a tequila tasting for the girls. She's trying to help me promote it. She said that she overthought the whole situation. So Andy asked her if Kathy was upset with Rinna. Kathy says no. That was the reasoning as to why she was upset. Kathy does say that she was mad at Kyle. And Kyle's like, well, why was it my fault? She starts crying and she's like, it's always my fault. And I did feel bad for Kyle in this situation because there was really no reason for Kathy to be mad at Kyle when you're the one who thought this. I could see if Kyle said, this is what I'm going to do, but Kyle didn't say that. I honestly don't understand why Kathy is mad at Kyle about this. So Rinna does admit she has promoted Kathy's tequila and she loves it and blah, 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 blah. She does apologize and says that it was never her intention to hurt Kathy. So they talk about the club incident and Kathy says that she wanted everyone to have fun. So she went to the DJ and he wasn't paying her any attention. His head was down, probably on his phone. So she went to the manager of the club and asked the manager if she gave him some money, would he play certain songs? And the manager was like, no. He asked her where she came from. Kathy said, I'm from California. And he said, well, you should go back to California. So that really pissed Kathy off. And she went up to Kyle and she was like, listen, it's time to go. Let's go. Kyle said it wasn't what Kathy said. It was the fact that Kathy didn't explain to her exactly what happened and say it in a nicer way, which I can agree. Like, if you come at somebody left, they are going to be more prone not to do what you want them to do. There's a way to approach people. There's a way to talk to people. I understand that these two are sisters, and this is probably kind of the dynamic that they have had forever, okay? And one thing I will say about this, if you allow people to talk to you a certain type of way and treat you a certain type of way, they are going to continue to do it. Kyle needs to learn how to stand her ground and let her sister know, I'm not going to let you run all over me. But unfortunately, we have yet to see her take that stance with Kathy, and I really don't understand why. I really don't. I feel as if Kyle looks at Kathy like she would look at her mom. And Kyle is constantly trying to get Kathy's acceptance and Kathy's validation. And she wants Kathy to treat her like she's an adult. And my thing is, how can Kathy treat you like an adult when you act like a child? I mean, nothing was barely even said and Kyle is crying and going into and getting into her head before anything is even said. And I feel like she really shrunk down to a little girl during this reunion with her sister. I really do feel that way. And we've never seen her like that with Kim. Yes, she's been upset with Kim and stuff like that, but her dynamic with Kathy is completely different than her dynamic is with Kim. At least that's what I feel when I watch this. Erika says that she asked Kathy when she saw Kathy walking by what happened at the club. And according to Erika, Kathy used a homophobic slur when she talked about the DJ. Kathy says, "No, I did not. That's a lie." Andy said the HR department opened up an investigation, and it's basically came down to a she said situation. They could not determine if this was true or not. So Kathy and Lisa leave together. Crystal tried to come, but we know that Crystal couldn't get her coat. I would have just left the coat and still just went on. Like that's supposed to be your friend, girl. Forget about the coat. So Rinna is saying that Kathy said all of these horrible things while they were in the van together. And Kathy says, "Well, don't you remember saying to me, I get it, you are preaching to the choir. Do you remember those words?" So all of the ladies now are focused on Rinna, and Rinna is not saying much of anything. And Kathy goes on to say again, do you remember those words? Let me tell y'all, Kathy then grabbed a bottle of water and she is sitting there she's laid back on the couch a little bit. Kathy looks completely unbothered and unfazed at this particular point in time. Rinna finally says, "I don't know exactly," meaning I don't know if I said that exactly. For me, you're saying that you could have said this. I mean, if you didn't, wouldn't you definitely say, "Kathy, I definitely didn't say that"? I'm just saying. Am I crazy? Kathy then says to Rinna, "Exactly." Rinna says, "You were saying things like you want to take NBC down," and she's basically saying that Kathy wanted to take down all of the networks that were associated with Bravo. Lisa goes on to say that Kathy wanted to get Kyle fired and all of these other things. Lisa says that Kathy also called Dorit stupid and useless. She called Erika and Sutton idiot and pieces of you know what. She says that Kathy said that she is the show, she's the star of the show, and I'm just like, see, now that's where you lose me. Maybe she said those things about Dorit. Maybe she said those things about Sutton and Crystal. But saying that she's the star of the show, where would she get that information from? I think Lisa wants to be the star of the show. It's just like, Lisa, you're going to have to make these things make sense, hun. You really are. Andy asks Kathy if she remembers saying any of those things, and of course, Kathy says that she does not. She does admit to saying some things. What those things are, she never reveals. To be quite honest, I feel like there had to be some type of legal intervention with this show from Kathy's legal team, because certain things are not being asked that I would really have liked to have been asked. Like, specifically tell us, Kathy, what is it that you said about Kyle? Specifically tell us, Kathy, what is it that you said about Crystal, Sutton, and Erika, or whoever else? But Andy never says that. So Lisa says it was heartbreaking, the things that Kathy said. I'm just like, Lisa, what happened to your voice, girl? You have this whole different voice, almost like you're acting right now. What's going on? So Kathy says to Lisa, and this made me laugh, "Lisa, I know you are having problems." And Lisa's like, "What problems am I having?" And Kathy says, "I don't know." What? Kathy, don't make an accusation and not be able to back it up. That was crazy to me. That really had me for a moment. Oh, Kathy is just being Kathy here. So they bring up this whole text message situation that Kathy allegedly sent to Lisa. And Kathy's like, "I didn't send this message. I looked through my phone. It's not in my phone." Now again, Kathy doesn't for sure say this is not me. She just says it's not in her phone. So it's like, girl, which one is it? Let's make it clear and plain, Kathy. Like, I'm impartial to the whole situation. I do like Kathy a lot more than I like Lisa, but it's the things that are being said have to still make sense. So Lisa, of course, pulls out her phone, shows it to Andy. Andy doesn't even say really too much about it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Do you guys remember that envelope that Lisa had? What was in the envelope? Because she never brought any of that stuff out. So for me, the envelope was a prop. Okay, it was a prop. The most that she could give of proof of anything was this text message that she says Kathy sent her. So they discussed the story being leaked to the press, and Kathy said she does not think that Erika's publicist was the one to leak it. Very interesting that she says this. I want to know why she feels that way. Now, if you guys don't know, Nikki, who is Kathy's daughter, and Erika share the same publicist. Allegedly, I've heard that this publicist no longer works with Erika because of this whole situation. I don't know that to be true. That's just what I heard. Erika says she did not want Kathy's meltdown to be leaked to the press. She wanted to discuss it here on the show. So Garcelle says nothing stays on the show. It's all leaked. Rinna agrees with her. And Garcelle says to Rinna, well, that's right, Lisa. You are the one doing most of it. It's just like, Rinna girl, shut up. You are the one who is leaking everything. So, of course, Lisa denies this, saying that she got a call from TMZ when she went home and they wanted to know what was going on with the Kathy situation. My thing is, how many of the other women got a call from TMZ? Why is it that TMZ called you, Lisa? Why would they call you directly? Kyle just says she wishes that it never got out there. So Kathy says that she went on camera to apologize to Kyle to make Kyle happy. And I'm like, Kathy, that's not genuine. Or at least how you said it doesn't come across as genuine. Now, it could be two things going on here. Kathy could have gone to Kyle privately and apologized for her actions, and that wasn't satisfactory to Kyle, and Kyle might have wanted Kathy to actually go on camera and apologize. Or Kathy's apology really is not genuine. You guys let me know what you think about that. Kathy found issue with Kyle because when she went to Kyle's house, Kyle wanted Kathy to apologize to Lisa as well. So it seems like Kathy was blindsided by Lisa coming to Kyle's house at the same time that she was there, which I could understand. Don't put me on the spot. Now, I've apologized to you because I want our relationship to be good, but all these other people, no, we're not doing this. I can understand where Kathy is coming from. So Kathy is saying, you know, why did I have to apologize to Lisa? And Lisa's like, because it happened to me. I was the one to experience this whole thing. Kathy says to Lisa that I would have called you on the phone, and I tried calling you. She accuses Lisa of wanting it to be on camera because Lisa's contract was coming up and she needed to have the drama so that she could keep her diamond. Kathy says Lisa drove Vanderpump off the show, what you did to my sister, you have had problems with everyone. And then to say that you were bullied, you are the biggest bully in Hollywood and everyone knows it. Ouch. Ouch. We all know that Lisa has a very extensive background at being accused of being a bully. And when Kathy made this claim, there was not one person that came to Lisa's defense. All Lisa could say is that right? So Kathy says, yeah, you are mean and you don't tell the truth. Rinna says, this is between you and Kyle. Kathy said, yes, if this was between me and my sister, why would you not tell me, you know, you and Kyle love each other. You should basically work it out. So Lisa says to Kathy, well, I could not. You were yelling at me. Kathy swears on her life that she never called anyone useless or talked bad about anyone in that way. Again, I would love to have known exactly what it is that you said. Andy, why didn't you ask her that specifically? Again, guys, I do feel like because of legal reasons, that's why this was not asked. Garcelle chimes in and says, well, if it was between Kathy and Kyle, then leave it alone. Rinna says she attacked me at the house, meaning Kathy. Kathy and Garcelle both say, attacked you? Like, girl, what? Kyle breaks down again. Andy says, well, Kyle wants to move on. Andy reminded Lisa that she has screamed and yelled at people also on the show. And Lisa says, and so what? So you're a hypocrite, girl. What do you mean, so what? How come it's okay for you, but not okay for Kathy to do? That's why you're not credible to me. I'm sorry. You're just not. Garcelle says to Rinna, you're going to hurt her, meaning Kyle, and she is your friend. Lisa doesn't say anything. Andy then goes on to say to Lisa that Kyle just wants to move on. She doesn't want to know the specifics. She just wants her sister. Why can't you let it go? Here goes Kyle breaking down again. Rinna says she will let it go. She's going to stop. She's not going to say nothing else else. We all know that that's not true because just recently Lisa came after Kathy talking about the trauma that Paris felt when she was younger. Andy goes on to say that people are questioning why you are so dogmatically trying to get in the middle of these sisters. And Rinna says because she was traumatized. Okay, so if you were traumatized, that's your problem. These two don't want to have a problem with each other. So leave them alone. So Andy says to her, well, with everything that you've seen on the show over the years, this is the thing that traumatizes you? Exactly, Andy. Andy asks Kyle if she was upset with Lisa for bringing it to the show. Kyle can barely talk. She's so distraught. And she finally says she feels very put in the middle of the situation. No, Kyle, I'm going to need you to answer this question directly. Did you feel upset with Lisa for bringing it on the show? And this is the problem that Kathy has with Kyle. You just do not, you just do not defend her in any way. It's just like, I don't understand. I really don't. It's very simple. Defend your sister. Kyle goes on to say that she always gets the blame for things in her family. She was very upset with Lisa, but she is the only one who gets hurt at the end of the day. And when Kyle says stuff like this, it's just like, girl, I can't really have sympathy for you, because you always feel like you're the one being affected. No, Kathy's affected as well. Your children are affected. You're not the only person hurting. So both Andy and Garcelle ask Kyle why she's not mad at Lisa. And Kyle says that she is mad. It came out, but that she is also hurt by her sister. Look where we are right now, Kyle says. Kathy adds, not good. Dorit says, but you are going to work through it. It's only a bump in the road. Dorit is trying to encourage Kyle. Kyle says that she needs to be in a better place with Kathy than when they came. Kathy says, well, I don't know. I'm just like, ooh, that was a dagger. Kathy, girl, what's going on? I feel like on Kathy's side of things, there are some things that she has not ironed out with Kyle regarding this whole season. That is why she is reluctant to move forward. But the only way you can move forward is letting your sister know what it is that bothered you. So of course, when Kathy says this, Kyle is all upset and wants to know why Kathy is upset with her. Andy says Farrah is getting married in the spring. So like, are you and your family going to go? Kathy says, I'm very happy for her. And I'm like, Kathy, girl, that's your niece. Stop it. Now, all of us are over here trying to root for you and your sister to have each other's back. But if you're going to sit here and not go to your niece's wedding over this mess, that's terrible. It really, truly is. And we know there's no other way to put it. So Kyle again says, why are you so upset with me? And Kathy says, you're acting like a martyr, like it's just you. It's not fair to me. Kathy says she has some things that she's hurt by as well. Dorit again chimes in and says to Kyle that Kathy just wants you to take some responsibility, which is exactly what Kathy is getting at. Like, don't try to blame everything on me. What about what you've done? And guys, what they didn't air on the show is a clip where Erika says to the group that Kyle wanted people to see Kathy in a certain light. So that right there is hurtful. I have never seen Kathy on the show intentionally try to make Kyle look bad, but Kyle consistently has made fun of Kathy and things like that. And it's just like, why? It's very weird. Why do you want your sister to feel a certain type of way? Like, that's just mean. So Kyle is not an angel. Kathy says, so after Dorit chimes in, Kyle like snaps on Dorit and is like, you know what? I really want you to stay out of this. This is between me and my sister. And I'm like, oh, okay, Kyle, girl. Really? Let us know how you really feel. Like, now, you're supposed to be all grieving and all upset and everything, but you seem pretty fine in this moment. I'm just saying. So Kyle again wants to know why Kathy is upset with her. And I'm like, Kyle, ma'am, at this time, please let it go. Let it be. Kathy says that she does not lie, for one, and you know that, saying this to Kyle. Kyle says nothing. So of course that doesn't make Kathy look good or feel good. Kathy goes on to say, do you not know that or what? I don't talk bad about people. Kyle understands what Kathy is saying now. And she's like, are you talking about what they're saying? Pointing to Lisa and Erika. Kyle said, well, if you were listening earlier, I never said I heard those words come out of your mouth. Now Kathy seems like she's really pissed because this was an opportunity for Kyle to finally stand up and defend her sister, and it fell flat. The last thing Kathy says is that she was just shocked. Rinna says, I was shocked too. And I'm like, Rinna, shut up. Shut up. The difference between a real friend like Dorit is that when Kyle said, Dorit, stay out of it, Dorit backed off. Rinna, the fake friend, She wants to keep pushing things because she is enjoying these sisters fighting. And like, why? Why? Like, if you would have just made this accusation against Kathy and her behavior and leave it alone, a lot of people probably would think, you know what, Lisa is telling the truth. But it's the embellishing of the story, it's the theatrics that she brings that makes everything she says to be very unbelievable. So Kyle says to Lisa, all of this taunting and stuff like that hurts me. I'm the only one who gets hurt. So here Kyle goes again. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. No, you're not, Kyle. Stop it. So that's the end of this segment. Andy, thanks Kathy for being there. And when they go to commercial, we see Kyle again says, I don't know why you're upset with me to Kathy. And Kathy says, you haven't said 2 words. So Kathy is basically saying, you have not defended me. That's why I'm upset with you. I just don't understand how Kyle can jump on Crystal every chance she gets, but can't sit there and defend Kathy. I don't understand it. So Kyle says, once again, everything is my fault. Now it's completely done, meaning their relationship is completely done. Seems like Kyle does not believe that her relationship with Kathy can be salvaged. Kathy leaves, and as she's leaving, someone asks her something like, is it over? And Kathy says it was a nightmare. The rest of the ladies are chatting and saying random things, and Kyle is saying to Garcelle, I can't sit here for the toast. Garcelle says, yeah, no, that would seem phony and be fake. Rinna says to Erika that they're going to get blamed for everything. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get blamed for everything, but you certainly will get blamed for your part in this situation. Dorit says to Rinna, well, what did you have to gain now? Good question. Kyle tells Andy that she wants to leave. Andy comes back with the final thoughts. He says to Kyle, you've been crying for the last while. You are clearly upset with everything with your sister. Do you think you guys could figure this out? Kyle is like, I hope. Rinna talks about having to grieve her mom on TV and how, it was just mind-blowing. Erika says, considering everything that she's been through, things are good right now. The silver lining for Dorit is that she knows she's lucky when she looks at her 2 kids. Crystal's stance in the group has been challenged, but she feels like her relationships are stronger. Sutton says she never knows quite where she stands with some of the ladies, but she wants to move forward in a positive way. Garcelle says she just wants to have more fun. Kyle walks off and it's very sad. So at the end, Dorit does visit Kyle in her dressing room, and again she's trying to encourage Kyle and let her know, listen, you're not going to get the resolve that you're looking for right now, but if you guys really want to be in a better place, you guys can fix this. At the very end, they put up a little note to the viewers saying that the last time that Kyle and Kathy saw each other was at BravoCon. And that's the end of the reunion. You guys, let me know what you thought. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.